Well, it's Saturday the 18th of April here, and I'm just doing some work on the guards. This is where I welded in those new sections in the bottom, and I've planished this up, and it probably looks a little bit rough when the light catches it, but it's actually come up really well. I am of course going to have to put some filler over this area, which I don't like doing, but I guess it's inevitable. I don't think I'm just not a good enough welder to weld it and paint it, unfortunately, but it's looking pretty good. The guard itself is straight. There are a couple of little areas, which is again part of that archaeology thing, which is quite interesting. There's one little area here that's been filled in the past, and one other one over here, and to me that looks as though they've had a mirror, two mirrors on them at some point. So who knows about the history of it, but it's all pretty straight and it's stripped up pretty well. So I'm hoping that the amount of work I have to do on this will be fairly minimum. Of course, back to the head problem. I've ordered a new head gasket and some new studs and various other bits and pieces from Spares in the UK. I should be able to pick the head up in a couple of days. I've taken it in somewhere to have it re-flattened, and we'll see how we go, and hopefully that will cure the problem. Well, I've got the head back from the mechanic who originally machined it for me, and I don't know whether you can see or not, but he is actually he's done a really good job. It's very, very smooth. Now, why he couldn't get it like that initially, I don't know. I think perhaps he's used to working on aluminium heads, and they might be more likely to pull up if they've got a little bit of machine work in them, but that is very smooth now, so I'm hoping that will solve the problem. I'm just in the process of fitting the valves back in. These are the little oil seals I've used here. I think I mentioned those in another video, but they're little umbrella seals that go on the valves, which I think will be a little bit more effective than the original O-rings. I use those on my MGA and they're quite good. They seem to be doing the job really well. I have a new head gasket here from Spares. This is their premium one, which they tell me is better than the original. Ho-hum. We'll see what happens. This appears to have a coating on it of some sort. I was going to use a Hylamar or some sort of gasket coating when I put this together. I don't know whether this really shows up on the camera, but there is a glossy sort of finish on that, which is a coating. So that will, I hope, seal everything up. This one is actually thinner than the original one that I took off, which surprised me because I thought it might be a bit thicker, but it isn't. I also have some new head studs here. The old ones weren't too bad, but I thought if I was going to all the trouble of doing this, I would replace them. I'm not using the really sort of competition ones because I don't think I need to. I'm just replacing them with standard new ones, and they're also a little bit cheaper. The competition ones, the shouldered ones or whatever you call them, are actually very expensive. So that's the job for today. Hopefully putting all this together and putting it all back in the car. I'm not sure whether I'll get the engine running today or not, but we'll see how we go for time. Okay, so I've put everything back together after quite a lot of work. I've had the head planed and I've put that back on, and start her up. Turn the ignition on. I forgot you got to do that on these. Okay, sounds good. And a little bit of tappet noise there. I haven't finally set the tappets. We're getting a nice sound. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. And the good news is, the really, really good news is that there is no leak from the side gasket at all. So that is actually terrific. I'm very pleased about that, to say the least. So The other thing is that I've jacked the back wheels up, and it appears as though the overdrive works, but it doesn't work on the solenoid. I think the adjustment isn't quite correct on it. But I can if I operate the lever down here, this lever down here, by hand, it works okay. So I think that's probably heading in the right direction. Got a new tacho cable, and she's idling there quite nicely. Oil pressure is good, and the temperature is okay. And I've got a new speedo cable as well, which you can just see just down there. So I'm really pleased with that, and I think from that, so I can focus on the bodywork.